Hello, everybody. We are live with Formula Botanica. I'm Suzanne. I'm here with Kelly and Sarah. And today we're going to talk about what's it like to be a Formula Botanica student. I know a lot of you watching are going to ask this. I asked it myself, and I was really curious about joining online because I had never taken an online course. So this is going to be a really good topic. So welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining in. So if you have any questions about what's it like to be a Formula Botanica student, please ask in the chat room where we have Lisa in the comments and we have Janet also that's going to be helping us. And yeah, so welcome everybody. So happy to have you here. I work with Formula Botanica in the education team. I'm like the little flea that jumps from, every little head. I work on various different things with the education team. I also work as a student mentor. I'm joining you from Canada right now. I studied with Formula Botanica because I was obsessed with fixing my hair. I had a lot of hair issues. And so I found Formula Botanica and I was hooked. So this is going to be a really good conversation. I'm going to pass it over to Kelly and to Sarah to introduce themselves. Kelly, do you want to say hi to everyone?
Hi everyone. Welcome to today's session. My name's Kelly. I am the Student Experience Coordinator here. I studied here about 10 years ago, and then I have worked here for 7.5 years. So it's been a long journey for me with Formula Botanica. My main role is running our education support calendar. So I arrange our calendar of events throughout the year. So if any of you have enrolled or do enroll, you'll be invited to all of these events as well. I also run orientation, which is going on at the moment. So all of the new students that have enrolled this week are all in our group and we're all welcoming everyone. We have lots of orientation events coming up and this happens every enrollment period. So we like to welcome all the new students and help them settle in because it can be scary starting a new course like this. So we have a nice sort of way of introducing everyone to the school. So I'd also, like Suzanne, I do many other things as well, but they're the two sort of main things that I do. I also work with Sarah in student support as well, sort of helping students that need any extra help or just need a little bit of encouragement. So me and Sarah do a lot of that,
Kelly,
which we love.
I can't believe it's been 10 years. That's crazy. And
Wow.
it is quite amazing,
Crazy,
quite an
isn't it? Whole
accomplishment. So
decade.
yeah, thank you so much
Yeah.
for the intro, Kelly. And Sarah, do you want to say
Welcome.
hi to everyone?
Hi everyone, I'm Sarah. I work at Formula Botanica as part of the student experience team. I support Kelly with the live events and orientation, and I also look after the e-learning platform. So that's the platform where your courses are, where you have a personalized account with all of your courses in. We're going to show you in a minute a little bit about what that looks like. But I sort of look after that and make sure everything runs as it should. There's no technical issues. I upload documents and just kind of keep everything running smoothly for you guys in the background. I started with Formula Botanica in 2018 as a student on the diploma in organic skincare formulation. And then I enrolled onto the entrepreneur program when I'd finished that one. So I've taken, I think, every course the company offer except for the facial mask course, which is no longer available. And I think I'm finalizing the hair care and the advanced final project as we speak.
Yay!
So Suzanne has been lovely in the hair care group helping me with that one. So thank you very much. But yes, we're just here today to kind of give you a little sneak peek into what it is all about to be a student. So we hope you enjoy
Yes.
it. Please do ask your questions as we go along and we will be answering them as we go.
Yes, I'm
Back
going
to
to be
you.
sharing my screen in a little bit just so you can see what happens when you join as a student. What do you see, where your courses are sitting, and how do you follow them through? So in the meantime, I just want to get acquainted with all of you. So let us know where you're joining us from, what country. If you're studying already with Formula Botanica, just add it to the chat and we'd love to see. and then we can see how global this community is, because that's one of the things that really attracted me to Formula Botanica, was the fact that, you know, English is not my first language. So I was nervous about studying a course that was online, and what if I couldn't understand the language, or what if, well, you know, what about the courses and all of that. But it's so nice to see that Formula Botanica has over 20,000 students in over 190 countries around the world. And it was really helpful for me and really comforting that I could see that students come from everywhere, and we speak all kinds of languages. And even our team of tutors, our team in the education team, everybody speaks different languages, so we can all communicate and help each other. So it's great. It really is amazing. I can see people joining in from everywhere, and thank you so much for joining. So if you have any questions, as I mentioned, drop it in the chat in the comments. And we're here today because enrollment for the amazing courses at Formula Botanica are open only for another 24 hours. So we wanted to make sure you understood what's it like to study with Formula Botanica and give you a bit of a sneak peek. So I'm going to start, let me see. I'm going to start sharing my screen with you so that you can see what happens when you join with Formula Botanica. First of all, when you join a course, when you sign up for the course, you will receive an email with a confirmation that you have joined, which you have to share with us in our classrooms, because we love when new students join. And then you will receive a link as well to your e-learning platform, which is the platform where all your courses are going to be sitting. So I'm going to share a little bit of I'm going to share this with you here. There we go. Everybody can see that okay?
Yep.
So I can.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so this is our e-learning platform that you see. This is my personal profile, so you can see that on the top left we have a dashboard, and the dashboard is where we are. This is our main port of entry, and right after you join, the first thing we recommend is for you to take this orientation course. Okay, and in the orientation course, you'll see it here as well. As you scroll down, you'll see all your different courses. But the orientation course is the best place to start, because it's a welcoming place, and it will show you little videos, and it'll explain everything about taking the courses with Formula Botanica. So you would study the Diploma in Organic Skincare Formulation. That's your first point of entry, your very first course. And it's going to welcome you and explain to you how it works, where you find your courses, where you find all your support, all the tutor support, everything. So everything will be in this very first orientation course. You'll see it here, how to start, how to progress. There's a lot of information, and it's a very quick course. Kelly, how long would you say the orientation course takes?
Not long. I'd say an hour and a half, maybe, just to watch the videos and work through, have a look around. It's not a long one, but it just gives you that sort of fundamental knowledge, I think, of the platform and how the courses work before you get started. I think it just takes away some of that overwhelm when you enroll, because it really explains everything that you need to know, but it's very fast. And you get your first badge there as well. So we find lots of people sharing the badges in the groups, because they get the first badge, which is the orientation badge.
Yes, and speaking of orientation, Kelly, did you want to share that there is a particular group for people who have just joined the orientation group?
There is, yes. So when you enroll, as well as the normal emails that you get with links to your the e-learning platform here, you also get an additional email about orientation, where you get a link to a page, and that page gives you the link to the Facebook group and also all of the orientation sessions that we're hosting. There's 4 sessions. Sarah and I are hosting 2 of them together, and they start this Friday. The orientation group is specifically for students enrolling this month, so it's much quieter than our big classroom, which has thousands and thousands of members. So it's just a smaller group where people feel a little bit more comfortable to ask questions in the beginning, and it's a way for new students to get to know each other that are starting together, often on the same courses as well. We have a study buddy program that goes along with that as well, so we try to pair people up with someone else. So it's a really fun group, and it's a nice way for the staff as well to get to know the new students before they just kind of go into the classroom, which is much bigger. So it's a nice intimate group, and we love the orientation groups. So, and they're open for 4 weeks, and then we have the main classroom and we have lots of other groups as well that we host. So there's lots of places for you to connect with other students.
Yeah, for sure. That's great. It's really helpful because it's 1 hour mini course, the orientation course. It's a 1 hour mini course where you'll learn everything that you'll probably have questions about as soon as you learn. So it's very helpful. You don't feel overwhelmed. Everybody's very welcoming, and you get immediate support from new students. We love it. We love seeing new students join. Okay, so the other thing you'll see in your e-learning platform is your courses here. They're going to be listed. And once you click and you join, you click on your course, you will see the different modules on the left that are listed. And you can click through them and click on the next lessons as you progress. It'll take them off. And the other thing you'll see that's really, really important is this button that says Tutor Forum, because here you can click and it'll open a forum where you can ask the tutors anything you would like, but it's kind of like your Google, your Formula Botanica Google as well, if you're taking a course with Formula Botanica, because you can search questions that other people may have asked already. You can type in keywords like pH measurement, for example, or coconut butter, I don't know, like something like that, and it will come up with questions that people have asked and their answers, like the tutors' answers as well. This one's really helpful. And then you'll just have to scroll through and get through the different welcome videos for each module. There are some games just to keep your memory intact, and the course books. Sarah, did you want to talk a little bit about the kind of course books that people can get access to when they're like the key resources?
Sure. So initially, you'll be just given the course books for the learning. That's in module 1, where we talk about the foundation. So if we use the diploma in organic skincare formulation as an example, the first one is understanding skin and skin anatomy. So in this module, you'll just find the course books and some additional files. Suzanne, if you could click into lesson 3 for me, module 1, lesson 3.
Oh, lesson 3. Okay.
So if you have a video, you have a fun game underneath that, and then at the bottom you've got tabs. Now, in most instances, you'll have a single tab, which is course books, but in this instance, you can see we've got 2 tabs. One is a course book and one is a self-study activity. And if you click into that one, you will see another file there. So we do ask that you download all the files in all of the tabs so that you can progress through to the next module. Once you get into the later module, you get access to core guides, which are large guides. They range from about 40 pages, anything up to 150, 200 pages. Now, we don't expect you to memorize all of the information in those, but they are guides that you will continually use as you go through. They are sort of encyclopedias, should we say, for the course, each tailored on a specific area. So we've got a supplier guide, you've got a carrier oils handbook, you've got a recommended reading guide, and Suzanne is just showing you here what they all look like. You've got a natural preservation guide, a pH measurement and adjustment guide, you've got ingredients directory, and the dermal limits, essential oil and dermal limits guide. I think I've named them all. They are found in the student library as well under key study resources, so you don't have to necessarily remember where you found them. You can just go to the student library and find them there, but you'll find them dotted throughout your course as well. And these guides are amazing. They are very specific to their topics, and they are full of information that you can refer back to. Just sort of a look-up encyclopedia guide, as I mentioned. So they are yours to keep and download. We update them 2 to 4 times a year, depending on the book. The supply guide gets done slightly more often than the others because every time you guys suggest a supplier to us, we'll add it in, we'll update it, we'll send it back out again. And these guides have recently been updated. I updated them all last week.
Yes, that was so exciting to see because there's so much incredible information, and it's really important to keep updating it. So Formula Botanica does that on a regular basis, as Sarah mentioned, because regulations change as well. For example, the pH measurements and adjustments guide, we go strictly by the IFRA, which is the International Fragrance Association, and they're the ones that provide us with the guidelines to how much, I'm talking about the essential oil derma limits guide here. How much essential oil can we safely use on our skin, scalp, hair? So these are all updated regularly, and the supplier guide is another really good example. It's amazing. It contains over 500 suppliers globally. So when you join Formula Botanica and you're wondering where you can buy your ingredients, your tools, your equipment, it's all right in here in the supplier guide. So these are essentials. And this is one of the wonderful things about studying with Formula Botanica is that we get to have access to all this wonderful material. So, yeah. Okay, so we walked through a little bit of the orientation. So, Kelly, what happens after a student, or any one of you can answer actually, what happens after a student has gone through the orientation? What happens next?
Are you taking that, Sarah, or do you want me to?
I'll leave that one to you.
So are you talking about the orientation course, Suzanne, once I've done the course?
Yeah, so once we complete the orientation course and we're sort of a little bit more familiar, what happens when we join the online classroom, for example?
Okay. So the online classroom has been going since I started here. So it's been going over 10 years now. And I think it's about 14,000 members, maybe 15,000 now.
Mm-hmm.
It's an amazing group. So all students are invited to join the online classroom, and it is definitely the most friendly group I've ever known on Facebook or anywhere. It is wonderful, and that group is used for people to connect. It's used for students to ask questions to each other and to the team. The tutors don't answer questions in there, but it's really good for peer support, and obviously we have the mentors in there as well. It's just a fantastic place to get support as well. So if you're feeling overwhelmed or you're just a bit confused with something, you ask in there. There's people in there from every country you can imagine, so there's always someone online, so you normally get an answer very quickly, because we have students literally from all over the world. And I think it's just a lovely, friendly place. And I think it helps because when you're studying online, sometimes it can feel a little bit lonely. And that's why we have the calendar where we do all the support sessions, and the classroom and the other groups, which is really helpful for people to connect, because I think it just stops that loneliness. And it also helps the courses feel a little bit more interactive as well, which is nice. So I think every student should definitely join the online classroom if they'd like to, if they're on Facebook. We've had some students just join Facebook purely to join join the groups as well, our groups that didn't want to really be on Facebook, but they've just joined, set up an account just so they can be in the classroom and connect with the other students as well. So I think definitely join the classroom and the other groups if there's any others that are relevant to you, depending on which course you're taking. But it is, I mean, Suzanne knows it really well because you're a mentor in there, but you know, the students are wonderful and it's just a friendly,
It is.
supportive place,
You
isn't
know,
it?
I was always, and I'll be honest with you, I was a little bit intimidated when I first enrolled with Formula Botanica because I knew nothing. I had made a couple of creams that I found recipes for on YouTube. So I thought, okay, well, I can make creams, so I can take a course and maybe I'll learn more. But once I got into the online classroom, I felt intimidated because I saw that a lot of people were sharing photos of these more advanced formulations that they had created, and I didn't, feel comfortable sharing mine, but I made the jump, and once I did, and I shared my welcome, hello, this is where I'm coming from, and this is what I know or not know, I was so embraced by the community because everybody had started where I was. So everybody knew exactly what I was going through and how intimidated I felt to share. It was so welcoming and so wonderful to see that there is no judgment. And I could even post in my own language if I wanted to, which is Spanish. But everybody was just so welcoming, and it made me feel really warm and encouraged to continue studying. That was great. Yeah.
Yeah, we hear that a lot. And I think that's one of the reasons we started setting up an orientation group for each orientation or each enrollment, just so students have that little smaller space just to get sort of the head around what's happening and what,
Right.
what around. Kind of ask those questions where they kind of think are silly questions, but they're not. It's just because they're brand new students. But I think they feel a little bit safer sometimes starting in a small group and then going out into the classroom. But the topic of kind of comparing yourself to other students is covered so much in our support sessions, Sarah and I, and you, Susan, you join in a lot of the sessions. We talk about this all the time because students do have a habit of comparing themselves. And some of the
Yes.
students there as long as I have and are making absolutely amazing formulations. And when you're a beginner, sometimes it's intimidating. So we have, part of orientation and the support sessions that we run are all about not comparing yourself to other
Right.
students, anyone, and focusing on your own journey, because it comes up a lot. So yeah, I think it's making that sort of change from comparing yourself to others to being inspired by them. And I think that's
Yes, that's a really good point. Yes. And
yeah.
Sarah, maybe you can add a little bit of why we have regional groups.
Yeah, sure. So the regional groups are we set them up to sort of help students in individual countries. So although we teach globally, we teach to the standards that are the strictest in the world, which is that of the EU. And there are slight variations in other countries depending on what you're selling or how you're selling. So um, America have different legislations. Some people have slight tweaks on the EU rules, so they're almost the same, but not quite. Um, and also in some countries, it's more difficult to find ingredients than there are, say, in Europe.
Mhm.
Maybe in Africa and Latin America, it can be quite difficult to source some of the ingredients. So the regional groups were set up to sort of help create a support network for students in those countries to help them
Mhm.
both with buying ingredients, to connecting with others in their country, to talk about legislations of their country, and just guide them a little bit more down their specific road. So we can take you so far, we can teach you how, because even if a country isn't um, hosting the GMP and EU regulations, they are the strictest in the world. And we do encourage you to follow them because then you have the best practice for your brand and your customers and your cosmetics. So it's a safety barrier. But
Yes.
some people choose not to do that and just go to those rules in their country. Some people decide to merge the two. So the regional groups are there to sort of guide you a little bit more down your specific path once you've completed your studies. And we do have some students in those groups that have become suppliers, because some of the ingredients can only be purchased in larger quantities. So they
Right.
buy a large quantity and then they sell to students in smaller amounts. So it's a great way to sort of not only learn more about the legislation, but source anything that you're struggling to find as well.
Yes, that's a really good point, actually. We've had many of our students who have joined their regional group. For example, I'm in Canada, so I joined the Canada group. And it's been super helpful to connect with other students in your country, in your region. You can speak your own language there if you want to. You can help each other source packaging and source ingredients. And so we've had some students sell some tools, or new students have bought bought from them. It's just really nice to connect locally with other people, because aside from the larger online classroom, the regional groups really help to connect. So it's one of those perks from Formula Botanica, from taking one of the courses, is that you're never alone, you're never left to study on your own and to figure things out. It's very much, you need to get involved with the team at Formula Botanica, with the other students, get to know each other, and get to know the tutors too, because the tutors are going to see you from the very first time you join right up to graduation and even beyond. So, yeah. Sarah, did you want to talk a little bit about how the students are graded? Like how do they get through the courses, and what does grading look like?
So grading comes in 3 forms. The first one is not actually a quiz, it's the fun quizzes that you saw on the page when we shared our screen. So those fun quizzes, we call them interactive games and hotspots. So they are self-graded. You will either complete a quiz or fill in the blanks, or maybe it's just an information element where you play a game of pairs or click on a plus to get some information. There's a range of different styles in there. So they don't count towards your overall grade for the course. They are just there as a bit of fun, a bit of interaction, reinforce your learning, and sort of a mini test ahead of the end of module quiz. So once you've opened all of the files in all of the tabs across all of your modules, watched all your videos, completed all your tasks in your course books, you will come to the end of the module where you'll find a quiz. Now, I'm going to take the skincare diploma in organic skincare formulation as an example. So you have 9 modules there. Each one has a quiz at the end of 15 questions, and you get graded by the system based on your answers. So you go through, you answer each question one at a time, and then at the end you submit your answers for grading, and it will show you which ones you got correct, which ones you got incorrect. And if you got them either way, it will explain the reason behind them. So even if you got it right, we'll tell you why you got it right. And if you got it incorrect, we'll explain the correct answer and the reason why you got it incorrect. So there is always a way to learn, even if you didn't get it 100% first time around. You get 3 attempts for every quiz at the end of the modules, and we will only take your highest grade as your score. So say you go in and you get 65% and you pass the quiz, you go back in, you take it again, you get 90% on the second attempt, and you think, I want to try it again, you take it again, and when you get 50%, that 90% for the second score will stay. We'll take the highest grade. We do encourage people to take multiple attempts, because every time you take a quiz, you get a different set of questions. So it's a nice way to sort of reinforce your learning. And then finally, yep.
Sorry, before you get through that, I just wanted to say that I think it's very obvious that Formula Botanica wants to see everybody succeed. These courses aren't put together just to see people fail. We want to see everybody succeed. So it's very forgiving, isn't it, Sarah?
It is, yes. And you
Yeah.
can use your previous attempts. You can review them at any point in time so you can
Mhm.
see what you got incorrect. You can write down the questions, go back to the course notes and try and find the information there. So yeah, we're here to guide you, not to sort of give you a stumbling block. We're just, because it's online, we need to know that you've understood the information that we've given you. So that's why it's
Mhm.
structured that way. Yeah. And then the final project is a graded assignment by the tutors. Now, for this one, you get one attempt at a time. So don't panic if you get there and you only see one attempt. We get a lot of people worrying about that. That is purely because the tutors grade them, and we want to give the tutors the time to focus on one submission at a time, to give it their full attention. By the time you get to the final assignment, you will have completed every aspect of what we ask you to do. There is a lovely template there that you can fill in. So there's no, you don't have to worry about what we're asking you to do. It's all written down. You fill in your template and you submit it to us for grading. You will be asked to create your very best emulsion, which is a lotion made of water and oil and an emulsifier. We teach you how to make them on the course. We've got some wonderful recipes to share with you as well. Sorry, wonderful formulations to share with you. And we want you to create your own off the back of that. So you'll be testing and trialing new ingredients, creating something very unique that is yours. And that is the best part of the course for me, because you really get to make your formulation, your own design to your own ethos, and let your mind run wild a little bit with what ingredients you can add. And then that's graded. You pass the course, you continue on to get your certificates and graduate from there. And then you become a certified organic formulator.
Yay!
With a badge to prove it as well.
That's
You
right.
get a
And
Formula
this
Botanica graduate badge.
one really important thing to mention here is that as soon as you start studying with Formula Botanica, you are a formulator. You're no longer a DIY person that searches recipes online through YouTube or websites. You become a formulator, which is huge because you're learning about the function of the skin, why your products are going to work, how to put them together safely, and how to preserve them properly. And it's all done in an organic, natural way. And this is what Formula Botanica focuses on, is we focus on teaching people how to formulate organic, natural formulations that are safe and effective. So you want to become a formulator. You want to take one of the courses and make sure that you have that certification with Formula Botanica. It goes a long way. Kelly, what do you think about when you graduate from one of the Formula Botanica courses? How is that seen? Like, how do people recognize Formula Botanica course, like people that have studied the courses?
Yeah, I mean, we get a lot of emails from companies asking for our graduates to work for them. We often post them in the classroom. I think people just have the skills that are needed to be able to either start their own brand or maybe formulate for another brand. People, graduates even, have gone on to do all sorts of different things. We have lots of that have started brands, which are all listed in our graduate gallery on the website, and you can kind of have a look through and see what people have done in your sort of country or continent. But graduates don't just launch brands. We've had graduates do all sorts of other things as well, and we've got loads of interviews with them on the website, sort of sharing what they've done. We've had graduates go on things like Dragon's Den, which it's a UK one. I think there's an American version as well, isn't there? I forgot the name of it now. Is that Shark Tank, I think, or something like that?
Shark
Yeah.
Tank.
So we've had graduates do all sorts of things like that. So yeah, I think having that education and having that kind of certificate behind you, just it just shows that what you're doing when it comes to formulation, which I think is what people want to see. And if they're hiring you, they want to know that not just how to make DIY recipes, which is where most of us start, but how to make a safe formula that's stable, that's preserved properly, that won't separate or go moldy within a few
Right.
weeks. So, having all those
And
fundamental skills, I think, is so important.
Sarah, you're so right, and you brought that up, and it gave me shivers because I remember as a brand owner, like I have a brand now of hair products that I launched. And I think one of the fears that I had of launching my products was, what if I ship a cream, a lotion, or something to a customer, and when they receive it, it has separated, it has melted, it has grown mold, something like that. So I think you made a really valid point, is that one of the most important things about learning with Formula Botanica is that you really learn to understand what makes a stable product, so that when you ship it to a customer, it's not going to melt, it's not going to grow mold, that it will be the right packaging for your formulation. Isn't that so
Yeah,
important though? Right?
definitely. Yeah, very.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, the one thing I saw that there are a couple of questions that came in. One of them, let's see, how much is enrollment? So enrollment really will depend on the course that you want to take. Formula Botanica has 8 different courses. So right now, the ones that are open are the Diploma in Organic Skincare Formulation. Actually, that's the flagship course, the one that we recommend everyone start with, because it's the one that will teach you from the very beginning, what the skin is all about, and how the skin grows. That those are things that are so important, aren't they, Sarah?
They are, yes. A lot of people forget that the skin is an organ just like your heart and your liver. And if you don't protect them and you don't know how it works, then you can't make cosmetics for it that are going to
Right.
work. So the Diploma in Organic Skincare Formulation is the foundation course. It is the course we recommend you start with, because it not only teaches you the skin, it teaches you the skills, the techniques, the math, and everything else that goes alongside formulating and creating your own formula from scratch. Not following a YouTube recipe, not sort of chucking it together and hoping it stays stable. It teaches you the why behind the science, and not just the science of the
Yes.
skin, but the science of
Yes.
cosmetics as well. And it is a core starting point to everything. And some people will have done YouTube videos, some people will have made an emulsion and kept it stable, and fantastic for you if you have.
Mhm.
But that doesn't mean that you're a formulator. That means you're a recipe follower. And that's the difference. That's what this course will give you. You will be a formulator. You will know why that worked. You will know how to change the formula and make something bigger and better and different. And that's why we recommend that you take that course. There is also almost 100 different formulations in that course. So we teach you I think it's 97 unique formulations, just to give you a starting point, and you can go off from there. So, that one formula, or those 2 or 3 formulas that you may have followed on YouTube, you can get 97 of them all to yourself and learn how to design them yourself and step out from the crowd as well. So
Yeah.
I love that course. It completely, for me, was one of the best ones I've ever taken.
Yes, the Diploma in Organic Skincare Formulation is an incredible course. They're award-winning courses, and it has just recently been upgraded, updated, I should say. So there's a lot of extra information that has been added. So have a look. The website has been shared in the comments in the chat. So thanks, Yvonne, for your question. So as you can see, it's not as easy as giving you a price. It really depends. And I think Lorraine, the CEO of Formula Botanica, has been very open to tell people that you really have to, if this is in your budget and you're keen on learning, then you must sign up. And because, at least for me, I was always one of those people that wanted to learn to do things myself. I wanted to learn how to change the tire in my car, how to, build a wall in a house, how to make butter, everything, cook and sew. So when I got frustrated with my hair issues, I wanted to learn how to make hair products and make them better than those so-called natural products. So I was really excited when I found Formula Botanica because I just wanted to learn it for myself. But as I went along and started learning how to make these products, I had family and friends saying to me, "Make me some. I'll buy some from you." And the interest just grew, and that's how I learned about business through Formula Botanica because of the courses as well. So it's not just a course to learn how to make one product. It's a course that'll take you from beginner to graduate to learning how to launch your brand. So it teaches us so much, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
It does. We had another question pop in about what's the difference between the diploma in organic skincare formulation and the international skincare entrepreneur program. So it was answered in the chat, but for those of you who can't see it or are watching it maybe later, the difference is that the diploma in organic skincare formulation is really the course you should start with. It's one course. And as we mentioned, it's recently updated. It teaches you everything so that you can become a certified skincare formulator. And the International Skincare Program is a bundle of 5 different courses that are discounted. There is a link in the chat room. And actually, this question ties in very well with the next question that maybe you can answer, Sarah. What do you think about this? Miss Fashionista is asking, is the entrepreneur program a better program if you're starting a brand?
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
the international program was put together by our students, effectively. We went to them, we asked them what they wanted to see, where they wanted to learn in order to launch their brand, and they came back with these courses. So you start with this diploma in organic skincare formulation, which is included in the international program. And then you develop your skills from there. The international program has another 2 diplomas and another 2 certificates, and they are all designed as next steps into launching your brand. And it has an entire diploma dedicated to launching and running a beauty brand, which is our diploma in beauty brand business management. Now, each of those 5 courses that is included in the program are available to enroll onto individually right now until 4 o'clock tomorrow. You don't have to buy them all at once. It is obviously cheaper to buy them as part of the international program because you get a discount. But the international program is not available until October, late October. So if you wanted to get started right now and get a head start on your journey, you can start with a diploma in organic skincare formulation today, and then come October, if you are ready and able and still as keen as you are today, you can upgrade to the international program, and we'll take the fee from the skincare diploma off of the fee for the international program, so you just pay the difference. You don't pay twice.
That's perfect.
Yeah, so it's definitely sort of the bundle to start a brand. Some people have done it off the back of just the skincare diploma, but we do recommend the bundle as a set. And there is more than if you pay for the international program in full, there is over a 30% discount applied to it. So it is a great sort of opportunity. But you don't have to wait until October. You can get started now. So
that's great.
Yeah.
That's excellent because enrollment is only open for another 24 hours. So I encourage you to have a look, take a look at the link, have a look on the website, and enroll with us because it is such a great opportunity for you to learn something new, something that will change your life, and something that will teach you another 100 things that you can make for your family, for your friends. For sure, 24 hours. Kelly, what do you think about that? Like it's coming up so soon, 24 hours.
It doesn't seem 2 minutes since we opened enrollment this time, and suddenly we're closing again. It's gone so fast this last week. But yeah, I mean, I encourage anyone, obviously, if you are interested in formulating, whether it's for yourself or whether it's to launch a brand or to do something else within that world, you know, the courses that we offer are, you know, I mean, we're biased, but we think they're wonderful. And you know, we've got so many graduates who have gone on to do amazing things after studying with us, and we're so proud of them. And I just think, you know, if you've got this dream already, you know, we've got the courses, but we've also got the community, and you know, we've got the opportunities to come to sessions. We have an alumni program, so once you finish your first course with us, you get invited to graduate events then, where you can connect with other graduates. We have different sessions on Zoom, where you can get together and chat about, you know, whatever it might be. It might be packaging, or it might be, you know, getting your business off the ground, or, you know, anything like that. We have a monthly check-in, which is usually Sarah and Suzanne actually that run it, although it's me this month with Sarah, but that's on Zoom, and it's the only session that we run on Zoom for students. Everything else is done in a different platform, but we just invite students to come along and chat to us about anything that they're either worried about or anything that they want to share, you know, a success story about, and celebrate with us. And it's just lovely. And, you know, we try to help as much as we can, but the other students often jump in and offer their advice. It's just lovely. So I think, you know, the courses are wonderful on their own, but the community, I think, is worth joining for on its own as well. I think it's amazing. I am biased because I help run the community, and I run all the sessions. I host a lot of the sessions, you know, but I do think, you know, the other students are fantastic, and I think it's at one place you can meet a lot of like-minded people who share your passion, which is just an amazing thing, I think.
I
That's
think
a
you're
really good
right.
point there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I must say, I've always had a thing for formulating. I used to pinch all the shampoos, conditioners, and talcs when I was a little kid in the bath and make all sorts of weird and wonderful concoctions, much to my mother's disdain. But I'm on this journey alone, almost, on my, you know, in my community. I live in a house of 4 people. No one else understands what I do or how I do it or why I would do it. I've had that question countless times. Why would you do it yourself when you can buy it off a shop shelf? And I say, because I enjoy doing it. Like, one of my favorite pastimes is a hot bath on a night, just de-stress, music on, candle lit, and a homemade bath oil or bath salts that I've done myself to my mood or my, you know, desires, whatever I want. It's mine, it's personal. But I don't have anybody else to share that excitement with where I live. So I share it in the community. And, you know, we might be a global school, we might be in 193 countries, but we've got 20,000 students who all have a similar drive, a similar interest, and a similar mindset. And that connection keeps you going. You know, we're not going to lie to you. There will be times when you think, oh my God, I can't do this. But the community help you at that point. You put a post like that in the classroom saying, I'm struggling, I'm losing focus, I need help. They are the posts that get the most comments and the most interaction, because everyone's been there. Everyone knows what you're feeling. Everyone knows how important it is for you to complete the journey, and they will drive you through. They will give you that strength to get you over the finish line. And
Sarah,
it's completely different to any other school or any other institution. We care to get you finished. We want to get you over that line, and that's what makes us so different.
we got you. That's right. Sarah, that is key though, and I've seen that so much in the online classroom. We have people joining that don't want to start a brand. We have people that have gone on to become suppliers of ingredients. There's one student, for example, one graduate who works from her sailboat, and she formulates from her sailboat, and she goes from town to town, and you know, like, our students have gone on to do so many different things. We had a lovely lady who joined, who is in her 70s, and she just said, you know, I retired from my office job and I want to learn how to make products and give it to my friends for Christmas time or for their birthdays. And so that's what it's about. It's about joining and learning a passion of yours and not feeling like you need to, you know, continue doing what you're doing in your full-time job if it's not something that you love. And also we've had some people who have joined just because they want to learn. So you have a full-time job, you study with Formula Botanica on a part-time basis, and once you graduate, you you go on
You
to
have a new
making your
skill.
own products. Yeah, you have new skin, new hair.
Indeed. The thing is, it's not, you can do anything you want with it. Once you've learned the concepts and the science and the techniques, no one can take that away from you. And that is
Yeah,
yours. You may not have the
right.
ability to launch a brand right now. You may not know if you want to launch a brand. You may just want to do it for your friends and family. That's
Yeah,
fine. You don't need to know exactly right now what you want to do. All you need to focus on is what do you want what do you want to do right now, and what do you need to do it. And if that is you need to learn how to formulate, then the courses can help you. The course materials are yours to keep for life. You download everything, it's yours. So you
yeah,
can start doing it now, and you can decide what you want to do later on. You don't have to have this, 1 year plan, 5 year plan for your business. But and Lorraine is very keen on the fact that you have to learn to formulate before you learn to launch a brand, because your products
yes.
form part of your brand. It's not all of your
So
brand,
critical.
but it
Yeah,
is a great part of your brand. So until you know how to formulate, you don't really know what you want to do. And this is a common theme that we see in the admissions team when we are chatting with students. They say, I only want to join and I only want to work with anhydrous ingredients, just oils and butters, nothing else. But then when they get on the course, they open up to a whole new world of everything else. And I was that student. I was that student. When I joined back in 2018, I made that call. I remember exactly who I spoke to and was told, we don't do just an anhydrous course, you have to do the whole thing. I was like, right, okay, for the purposes of learning, I'll do it. And now one of my favorite things to do is a gel. I've just made 5 different gels a couple of weeks ago, all for different areas of the skin, one for the hair, one for the face, one for the body. And that's my thing now, is gels. But I would
right.
never have considered working with them until I did the course. It's
I
completely
love
changed
that.
my.
I love that,
So
Sarah.
yeah.
I love that story. That's great. We have a comment from Victoria who said, my lovely favorite ladies, that's us. So happy to
Hey.
be the student and graduate of this gorgeous school. Don't even hesitate to enroll. Victoria, thank you so much. We have thousands of students and graduates who have exactly the same opinion as Victoria. We love the community and how Formula Botanica has changed lives so positively. We've been able to help so many people learn and supported so many people. And even after you graduate, we support you in the online classroom, which you have access to forever, so that you can see what other people are doing and that you can share what you're doing with other people. So it's really quite amazing what happens in your life when you learn to formulate.
Can I just add something there, Suzanne? Just speaking of community, Victoria is one of our probably most popular students. She posts in the classroom constantly. She comments on everyone else's posts with really lovely, supportive comments. She comes to so many of my support sessions and she chats to people in the comments there as well. And she's an absolute inspiration. I mean, she does all this alongside having a tiny baby, who's probably not so tiny now, actually, but a lovely
Mhm.
little baby. And, she's doing, I think, the advanced diploma now.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's still studying. She posts all her experiments. She posts really motivational things. And that is, the community that we have. These students are amazing. And, Victoria, I think, is known by everyone now for all the lovely things that she posts. So thank you for being here, Victoria. So yeah, she's wonderful.
Yes, for sure. Nisha said, this
Oh,
is a great community where you get support and inspiration. I love that. You are so right, Nisha. Um, it is a really supportive community. We've seen that even in the Skincare Entrepreneur Mastermind group, which is the free Facebook group for anybody that wants to join. It has close to 90,000 or over 90,000 members now. Anybody can join it. But we've seen the support there, how so many people support each other with questions about, how you can learn to make something to supporting their businesses. So Formula Botanica supports everybody that joins in. We love it. And for all of you who are wondering if you should enroll, I would say do it. Don't let this pass you by. It's a great opportunity. There's only 24 hours, 23 hours now until you can join one of the courses with Formula Botanica. The links are in the chat and the comment. Please have a look. Learn to make something new. Learn to do something for yourself, because that's how we got started as well. We just wanted to learn how to create something that's our own. And I no longer buy anything except for toothpaste and sunscreen. I don't buy anything at the store anymore. We've learned to create absolutely everything from the babies in our families to the seniors, hair care, skin care. So it's a great inspiration. And if it's something that you are craving to learn, don't deny yourself the opportunity to do it. Life's too short, right?
Indeed.
Yeah.
And the
definitely.
big thing I would like to say is that it's so much fun to actually do it. Yes, there will be some stressful
Yeah.
elements when you're struggling to grasp a concept, but it is so fun to actually do this. You know, if you've got a passion for cooking or for formula or for, you know, making stuff, anything, like
Mhm.
I often liken it to cooking because it's a similar sort of concept. But you know, there is something empowering about finishing a product, creating a product and seeing it in its finished container and then using it, whether that's a bath oil or bath salts or a face cream or a body butter or a body scrub, it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
You can sit there and use that and say, I've made that, I've done that. And you
Right.
will have lots of fun working around with different ingredients. Like, you know, you've got all sorts of things. You've got exfoliants, like even just in that frame, you've got salts, sugars, plants, roots, herbs, and you know, that's just a starting point. It opens up a whole other realm of possibilities, and we want
Mhm.
you to have fun with it. We do. Like that's one of the reasons the amount of times the community you'll see someone's made a mistake, they've dropped a beaker on the floor, they've
Yep.
you know, something's tipped over when they've been heating it, and now their lovely formulation's just in a pan of water. Like it's not just about the successes; it's about the failures. We don't use that word, but the challenges that you get through as well. And
Awesome.
you know, that's
Thanks,
what
Sarah.
makes it fun, because you look back in a month's time or six months time and go, can't believe I did that. Like
Yeah,
now I've
that's
done
right.
this, you know,
Yep.
and yeah, that's what makes it really
Yeah.
fun.
Thanks so much, Sarah. Kelly, is there anything else you would like to add before we wrap it up? We've been almost an hour chatting it up.
We
So,
have. It's gone so
yeah.
fast. I think just to, if you are thinking of enrolling and you have any questions that we haven't covered today, or if you think of any after the live, just send us an email. Our admissions team are available at hello@formulabotanica.com, and they're happy to answer any questions that you have. Obviously, we close enrolment at 4 p.m. tomorrow, UK time, so you do have a little bit of time to get your questions in if you think of anything else. But yeah, I just look forward to meeting lots of you at orientation for those of you who do enroll. So yes, we start enrolment. Well, it's already, the group's already started. So as soon as you enroll, come and join orientation, and we can all meet. So yeah, thank you for joining the live as well.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. As Kelly mentioned, do reach out if you have any questions. Sign up, join us. I can't wait to see you all in the online classroom, and we can welcome you, find you a study buddy, connect you with somebody near you in your regional groups, and guide you and support you through your formulation journey.
Indeed.
Thank you so much, everybody, and we will see you in the online classroom.